Here at the Mason Elephant Park, we've now finally finished the last section of our art gallery, which was started about 3 or 4 years ago, but I wasn't happy with it and we decided to enlarge it, add some new exhibits, and it's now really interesting. It's certainly a wonderful part of the park, well worth visiting when you're coming here. So come through and I'll show you it. As you come in, the first thing you'll see is this wonderful damaged Dumbo, which was bought at auction from the Asian Elephant Foundation, which was in Singapore, and all the proceeds of that went towards Asian elephants. One of my favourites in the gallery is this piece here, which is done by Ronnie Woods from the Rolling Stones. It's called Tusk. A lot of people don't know that Ronnie Woods is a fantastic artist, and this piece is a limited edition which I was lucky enough to find in Melbourne. Walking on further, we got a wonderful selection of originals from Walt Disney. These are Dumbo, the elephant, of course. And over here we have Horton himself, which is a beautiful bronze, limited edition from the Horton Gallery in America. I was very lucky to find this piece. It's really fabulous, lovely piece. Surrounding it is these wonderful paintings done by the late Van Weddingen, who used to live very close to the park. He did these wonderful pictures and donated them to me, and at the park, another one on this side here. Next thing you see is Nigel's guitar, which is exactly what it is. I used to play a lot of guitar. I don't play so much now. I'm getting a little bit old and my fingers are getting a little bit stiffer. But I decided to put this in the museum. It's a guitar that was made for me by Australia's #1 guitar maker, a guy called Andy Allen, who works for Maton Guitars. He has made guitars for all sorts of people, including the Rolling Stones. And it was commissioned by my very good friend, Kevin Buddy Wilson, the comedian from Perth. And when it was being made, I donated a solid piece of mammoth ivory, which was 20,000 years old, and he designed it into the guitar with a Buddha on the top and these little elephants down here and the bigger elephant there, and then the name Mason written into it too. We have several stained glass windows. These were done by a Balinese artist, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4 in this part of the gallery alone, another couple through there. This is a piece I found in Thailand, and it's made of a hollowed out old antique piece of teak, and they've carved into it a whole scene, including elephants and jungle. I don't know who the artist was. I found it in a market and didn't know who made it, but certainly whoever did is very clever. It's beautiful, really. The Balinese used to have their own currency, and this is actually made of all the antique coins that were used in Bali at that time. Amazing piece, and of course now very rare because these coins are almost impossible to find. Here, of course, we have some paintings done by the elephants themselves. We don't train our elephants like some places do in Thailand to actually copy a human-like thing, because it's not natural to an elephant. What is natural to an elephant is to swish and swash and swap and come up with these absolutely unique designs which are quite abstract, but sometimes they come out looking like something. This one I love because it actually looks like an elephant. The tail, the body and the head and the trunk. So really beautiful. The elephants are quite clever at doing their own abstract art. The first bit of art that hits you when you come into here is this wonderful piece of work which was done in Australia by a couple, Gilly and Mark. But this bronze work was done of an idea that Gilly had, because she was born originally in South Africa, and she was told when she was a little girl by the black nannies that she would have had that this was something that used to happen in Africa long ago. There used to be so many elephants that the African people themselves used to believe that the elephants fell out of the clouds. And this is her representation of that. And I love it. It's a beautiful piece. I picked it up in Australia. Moving to this piece, I found this in India. And wow, it's really beautiful. It's one solid piece of rosewood and all inlaid intricately with shell and stones, and quite amazing. A beautiful piece. But by far the most valuable piece in here is this. This is called Space Elephant, and this is a Salvador Dali original, and it's of a very, very limited edition, and I was lucky to pick this up in Spain at Salvador Dali Gallery. Space Elephant, he believed that elephants, if they were in space, would have little, long, skinny, insect-like legs so that they didn't have the gravity of their huge bodies. So this is the top part, represents mankind into the future. I love this piece, it's really, really beautiful. My son in his travels did some traveling through Nepal, and he went there and twice has gone through Nepal on a motorbike. On one of his travels he found this amazing piece which he thought I would love. It's the only Ganesha I've ever seen with fire behind him. Consequently, it's made quite a startling painting. Some years ago, I had a visit from a guy who was a street artist in Japan, a guy called Jun. While he was here, he did these paintings together with the elephants. So part of these paintings are the elephants and part are Jun. For instance, on this one here, the black was done by Jun and the red and the yellow was done by the elephant. So each one of these paintings is uniquely different, and he had a lot of fun doing it. This is the third and final finished part of the gallery, and as you can see in the corner is a living tree which actually goes out through the roof, because I have a habit of keeping trees rather than cutting them down. But the most outstanding piece to me is this incredible piece of tree root. This is actually a teak tree. The top of it would have been that, and this is the roots of the tree. And this Balinese artist amazingly saw in his vision these two elephants and carved it out of the roots. I was actually given it by a very good friend of mine as a present, but what I did is I added all the stainless to it with a stainless steel sculpture just to highlight the features of it, the tusks, the eyes and the feet, and that wonderful that the imagination of this artist could see that from that root. Amazing. This is solid marble and came from the city of Agra, which is where the Taj Mahal is found. And they have these mines where they actually mine the marble there. My very good friend Van, the artist, donated these to the park some time ago. Very, very unusual and up to about 300 years old. Who made them, I don't know, but it was obviously someone from Java, not from Bali. They don't have anything to do with elephants, but I just thought they were so beautiful that they needed to be displayed in here in front of the glass. Last but not least, there's this incredible painting here. The artist who did this is Australian, Peter Hudson. I saw Peter's work online and liked it so much that I managed to talk him into coming to Bali and painting this painting here. He spent about 2 weeks here at the park, staying with us, and painted this. Part of it he painted upside down, which was quite amazing, but he ended up making a wonderful piece of art, certainly the biggest piece we have in the gallery. Coming out of the gallery, we come to this little garden area put together here with a little table and chairs where you can sit down and relax. This piece was from Thailand, and it's quite unique, with a bull's head on the top and all these elephants on the bottom, all carved onto a background of an original wheel. And last of all, this piece, also from Thailand. I found this in a market in Bangkok, and it's of a whole herd of elephants carved into one old piece of wood, which is probably teak. Very beautiful. Well, that's it from the Mason Elephant Park. Thanks for having a look through our gallery. If you're coming to the park, please make this a destination to see, because the gallery is all about elephants and all about the history and artwork related to elephants, and well worth a look.